now play the French national anthem. I'd like to welcome our guest, Honorable Blaine Peterson, MLA for Infrastructure for Manitoba, our Mayor, Grant Owen, and representing the Emma Dufferin, John Peckover. Thanks for coming. I'd like to introduce our guest of honor, or our guest of honor is seated, sorry. Our dignitary, Mr. Bruno Bernachon. Come up and stand. Mr. Bernachon was nominated as Honorary Consul of France in Winnipeg in November of 2009. It has long been involved in international affairs and France-Canada relations. Monsieur Bernachon left France in March 1967 to study in Saskatchewan. He has worked extensively throughout Canada, as well as participated with negotiating the NFTA agreement. Monsieur Bernachon has always been committed to working towards stronger relationship between France and Manitoba with a truly diverse and dynamic economy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Monsieur Bruno Bernachon, Consul General of France. Before the presentation, I'd like to Carm Colvin enlisted with the Army Signal Corps in 1942. After basic training in Portage-la-Prairie, he was sent to Kingston, Ontario for more training before going overseas. He was first sent to England in 1943 for 1.5 years. After that, Carm served in France, Holland, Belgium, Germany, and Luxembourg. His role was working with communications, installing telephone wires. He served in the front lines in Europe and has many harrowing stories of his experiences and feels lucky to have survived. Carm owned and worked in the Carman dry cleaning plant in Carman for 26 years. He owned a fleet of 7 school buses and drove one himself. For 16 years, Carm managed the dry goods department at the Carman Co-op, retiring in 1983. Throughout his life, Carman has been a talented banjo musician, contributing greatly to musical entertainment in and around Carman. Carm was married to his lovely wife Vera for over 77 years. Except for the war years, they lived their whole lives in Carman. Vera sadly passed away in 2019. For 75 years, Carm has been very active with the Carman Legion Branch number 18. He was twice held the position of president and has served and chaired on many committees. He was awarded a life membership and has received the Meritorious Service Award in 2008 and the Palm Leaf Award in 2013. Carm Colvin, for your fallen comrades, your past comrades, and humbly from your present veterans and Legion comrades today, congratulations on this award.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous, and I will continue in English. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure for me to be in Carman for my first time, as well as for my wife, Carman, also present here. I understand our MP, Candace Bergen, is not here. Okay. MLA, Mr. Blaine Pearson, Mayor Brent Owen, Brave Councillor John Pickle, President of the Legion, Mr. Mike Dunn, honored guest, member of the family, and of course, all the veterans here today with us. You could miss this outstanding celebration. And of course, all you dear friends. First of all, I would like to thank Don Lemon to organize this memorable event. And you and I had planned this to be held last year in April. Unfortunately, COVID-19 decided otherwise, and we had to postpone it. But I'm extremely grateful today to be here and finally present and finally proceed with this ceremony. Today is a notable day for everyone here, but especially for one special gentleman who in a few minutes will be officially made Knight of the French National Order of the Legion of Honor. And perhaps you could come beside me with the medal so everybody can look at it while we make the presentation. It is a real honor for me to have this opportunity to present this prestigious award to Mr. Carman Colvin, acknowledging his participation in the D-Day landing in Normandy, France. Approximately 7 years ago, our then Premier of Manitoba, the Honorable Greg Solinger, traveled to Normandy and was officially greeted by the President of France at the time, Mr. François Hollande. It was to commemorate the anniversary of D-Day. Mr. François Hollande was then replaced by Mr. Emmanuel Macron, now President of France, and the Premier of Manitoba, Mr. Brian Pallister, repeated the visit 2 years ago in Normandy in 2019. Prior to that visit, the French government had decided to bestow the medal to the brave veterans who were on site during D-Day operation and landing in Normandy. A number of Canadian Armed Forces members have been awarded the Legion Honor Medal. By the end of this undertaking, there will be approximately 1,600 veterans of Canada that will receive this prestigious award. And incidentally, I'd like to mention, if we have other candidates, the program is still going on. To the best of our knowledge, there are more Canadian D-Day veterans living in Canada, but what is happening now is part of a truly unprecedented 6-year process to get this program undertaken, and it required a lot of human resources, both in France and in Canada. It would not have been possible without the outstanding support of the Canadian Ministry of Veterans Affairs and also the Ministry of Veterans Affairs in France. Let me specify that the President of France has personally signed each and every one of the decree for each Canadian recipient. The Legion of Honor was created in 1802 by Napoleon Bonaparte. It is the highest honor awarded by the French Republic. The honor is in recognition of outstanding achievement made while in service in the French Republic in either a civilian or military capability. This distinction illustrates the profound gratitude that France would like to express to Mr. Carman Colvin in recognition of your determination, your courage, and professional contribution to the liberation of France, my country of birth. Through you, France remember the sacrifice of all your compatriots who came to help liberate France, often losing their lives during the fierce battles. More than 50,000 Canadians did not come home from D-Day. On a more personal note, I sincerely feel if we are here gathered in this Legion of Carman today, it is because of this brave soldier and all of his comrades that freed my country, France, from terror and tyranny. They have demonstrated and accomplished an unsurpassable act of extreme bravery. Your accomplishment during the Second World War is a vibrant reminder of the profound and historic friendship between France and Canada. This creates a very special relationship between our two countries. The people of France have never and will never forget the act of bravery shown by the Canadian forces during the Normandy landing and helped restore our freedom. I can only have one word to think about, and a single word to say to you, Mr. Colvin: merci. You are, to France, a true hero. Now I have the great honor of awarding you with this decoration, the highest medal awarded by France. Please accept on behalf of France, the President Emmanuel Macron, and all the citizens of France, my sincere thanks, gratitude, and our sincere congratulations. So now, as per the protocol, I will make the presentation first in French, and then I will do it in English. So, do you want your father to stay there, or do you want to bring him here? Bien, on put him beside the flag. Au nom du président de la République française, M. Emmanuel Macron, et en vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont conférés, je vous fais chevalier de la Légion d'honneur. In the name of the President of the Republic of France, Mr. Emmanuel Macron, and by virtue of the authorities conveyed to me, I declare you, Sir Carman Colvin, Knight of the Legion of Honor. Congratulations.
We'll now play God Save the Queen.
Oh
colors, I'd like to thank our dignitary, Mr. Bruno Bergeron. Now I invite Comrade Carm Colvin, who will ceremoniously cut the cake, and the ladies will serve us cake and
Big one for me. Perfect. Well done.
As you'll have noticed, Dad's had a little health concern in the last couple of weeks, and he wanted to say thank you, but was worried about being able to do so today. So we said, well, tell us what you want to say, and one of us will say it for you. So these are his words that he shared with us for us to share with you. He wants to, I'm going to say I for you. I want to thank the country of France and the French consul, Mr. Bernichon, for presenting me with this beautiful medal and honor. I want to thank the Carman Legion Executive and Branch and Color Party and Ladies Auxiliary for organizing and hosting the event, and to Don Lemon for submitting my name and information for consideration for this medal. I'd also like to thank Deanna Mucci, who played the piano today. Dad always loves the music, of course. And I'd especially like to thank everyone in attendance, friends and family, for taking the time to come to this presentation today, and special thanks to all those who came from a distance. Even though it was over 75 years ago that I was in France, I remember it well, and it is truly an honor to accept this distinction and medal from the Republic of France. There were many veterans from the Carman area and all across the country that would have also qualified for this honor, but unfortunately are no longer with us. Many others in the service at that time gave their lives in the war and are buried in France or other European countries. So I'll graciously accept the medal and proudly wear it in memory of all my comrades. Thank you. And just a couple of requests from our family. We know that everyone will want to extend their personal congratulations to Dad, but we respectfully ask that we don't form a receiving line this afternoon. Dad fell a couple of weeks ago, as many of you know, and he's been having some challenges since. He didn't break any bones, but he conked his head pretty good, and he's a little unsteady. His one leg keeps giving out on him. He's finally coming around, we think. He's been to the doctor, and the doctor said, by all means, come to this today. So we ask that you sign the guest book. There's the Legion registration, and there's also the guest book. So if you just signed one, we'd ask that you also sign the guest book if you haven't already done so. And we will read out the names to Dad later, and so that he will know everyone who was here today, and appreciate your support, and he will be thrilled. We realize that I don't know how long Pop will stay here this afternoon, but little visits are fine, but we just didn't want to expose him to a long reception line and kink his neck and have some more issues. So on behalf of our family, we thank you, sir, for a wonderful presentation. We got to call him sir now, you know. And I know the rest of the family were wondering, is there some little tag along a distinction we get now? I don't know, son of the night or something? I don't know. Anyway, great, thank you very much. afterwards.
That was pretty easy when somebody else does it.
So Carm, while the ladies are cutting the cake, I would like to present you with your 75-year pin and bar from the Royal Canadian Legion.
Your 75-year pin.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, enjoy the rest of the day, and let's take some coffee.